do I give you silence today? How can I? You know, I'm at this phase in my life where, I was the kind of girl that grew up without dreams. I didn't dream about anything. You can listen to the episode where I spoke about I Hope You Dream Again. I just started dreaming in 2018 and I stopped dreaming in 2024 because, life was life. But then I've started dreaming again. And while I'm excited about it, and while I'm like willing to walk in the path of my dreams, it feels really overwhelming in a good way. But I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of things to catch up on. I don't want to go into like details of what those dreams are, but those dreams require me to read a lot. I've always been a reader, but those dreams require me to read a lot, to research a lot, to consume a lot of content. And I feel like I'm losing my mind. I feel like I am not losing my mind. I feel like, oh my gosh, would I ever get to understand what this dream demands from me, right? And I think I also find myself getting really angry when people do not understand a journey or a process. For example, women in leadership. I was hosting the dailies today and somebody called and said, every time they'll be talking about special seats for women, are the women even ready, blah 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 blah. And I'm getting to realize that everybody has their own opinions and everybody's opinion is valid, but there is something about an opinion that has the ability to shape another person's perspective or narrative, or can even make the person to start doubting the journey they are on. It's not about me, because I always know that even when I doubt myself, I have the strong will to bounce back. But not everybody has that, right? And I think I'm getting to a place where I have to realize that, because I'm always like, now I'm digressing, but just stay with me. It would all make sense at the end. I'm always like, I want to keep peace. I want to, keep the unity in a space. I don't want to come off as too, stubborn or too opinionated or too rude or mean, like, because whenever you oppose people, especially in Nigeria, elderly people, even your peers, you're seen as like somebody that they want to like maybe subdue, or somebody that they do not like. And thank God, I just finished reading The Courage to Be Disliked. I would recommend that book to anybody, both be you a man, woman, girl, boy, old, young. Go read that book. It will really like help you, or kind of like shape life for you in a way. I'm getting to that place where I don't want a lot of things to fly. When it comes to the media, especially radio, you allow people to express themselves. And, as the host or the presenter, you have to hold space for different opinions to be in. But there are certain opinions that kind of like rankle me, especially when that opinion is not solution based. It's coming from a place of tearing down, trying to make the other person feel like what they're doing is stupid, or trying to make the other person feel like they're the problem, whereas they are not. Because I'm referring to, when I spoke about rape, the rape culture in Nigeria on air. And after having, have I said this on this podcast before? Can't remember. But after having like close to I was talking to my friend about it. After having close to like 2 hours conversation with my boss on this rape culture, and how women also enable rape, and how men also contribute to the rape culture, how basically everybody in the world is contributing to the rape culture, and what are the possible solutions. Do you know, a man called in and basically just made us feel foolish. At least, maybe not for my boss, because she would have, encountered people like that for the longest time. But made the whole conversation we're having look foolish, because he just came and said, you people should stop generalizing. Stop saying men, 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 women, women, women. And, there are a lot of materials and events for men to go to that, the thing I said about men not having, role models or having events like women, like having interventions for women is false. That what I was saying was impractical. I was just like, yo. But this is not the point of the conversation. Because my boss, she broke the table on women. She said mothers are not doing a great job. And I pushed back with men as fathers should be role models to their son. If a father is abusive, there's a big likelihood that the son will be. And I can remember saying at the beginning of that show that, yo, this whole conversation of, oh, not all men, always a man, not all women, always a woman, that is not the point of this conversation. The most important thing what I want to do with this conversation, with this topic, is to provide solutions and see how everybody in the world can see each other as a human being, beyond the gender, beyond the tribe, beyond the religion. But no, this man out of nowhere just called in to disrupt the flow of our conversation. And I was so furious. I was so angry. I was just like, one of the other girls in the studio was just like, when did you tune in? Because we clearly addressed this at the beginning of the show. So where were you? And, you just come in when the conversation is already like gathering momentum and you just like take us back to the beginning. And what that contribution made me feel like was, what if a girl has been listening to us, or what if a man has been listening to us and the person was at the verge of, seeing what a solution could look like or seeing what a possible intervention could look like. And now this person called and kind of like changed their mind. And you might be saying, oh, is it that easy to change somebody's mind? You had a 2 hours conversation and all of a sudden somebody's like contribution, maybe like 2 minutes contribution, changed their mind. What I would say to that is, in comparison, is a lot of the times I will be reading a book, totally enjoying the book, and then I go to Goodreads and I start reading people's hot takes on it. And all of a sudden, I no longer feel like reading that book. That's why I do not go to Goodreads when I'm reading a book. I will finish the book, then go to Goodreads. Even for songs, I don't like people's opinions on any work of art I'm consuming. Because rest assured that people's opinions has the possibility to influence how you see that work of art. So I was so angry. I was just wondering, I hope nobody got like, confused at some point because of this unnecessary contribution. I'm learning a lot of things in this phase of my life. I mean, I move forward to do things. I get pushbacks. Sometimes the pushbacks are from myself. Still yet, I want to look up and do what I'm meant to do. And I feel like, there are some phases in my life that are suffering, that needs attention, like my spiritual life. And I give it a whole lot of attention. Now just like a quick prayer there, a quick Bible study there, no dwelling. I miss that a lot. But I'm still excited though. I just need to figure out like how to combine everything, how to balance everything. Or like somebody would say, there's no work-life balance here. You just do what you ought to do. And I even while I need to do what I have to do, I hope that I'm doing the things that really matters, like my family, my friends, my spiritual life, my work, myself. I hope nothing suffers. My finances, I hope nothing suffers. Or nothing goes down the drain. So it's a lot. I'm learning how to interact with people. I'm learning how to be unshaken by people's opinions of me, of what I do, of my opinions, of how I show up in the world. I'm learning how to not be unshaken. I'm learning how to oppose without wondering, oh, if I oppose them now, are they going to dislike me? That is their business. My only business in that whole situation is to oppose. And in my opposition, was I being truthful? Was I being factual? Was I being honest? That is all that matters. Did I have fun? That is what I can control. How the other person receives it shouldn't be any of my business. That's what like the courage to be disliked is teaching me, or it taught me. I've gone through life like always wondering how people see me. And right now I want to go through life wondering how I see people. because I'm a human being too, and I deserve to have an opinion on who you are, if you can have an opinion on who I am, right? It's a back and forth thing. So we always constantly go through life wondering what people will think about us. What do you think about them? Do you like them? Do you want to be in this space with them? Is your lack of self-esteem making you think that who you are is useless and unworthy to be in that space? That because you're spending time in the presence of this person, that is all that matters. I was speaking to a guy. Maybe beginning of the year. He was telling me everything he wants in a woman. I knew he was saying it to kind of like tease me and prod me. Because, I might not look like what he wants, and that is fine. But Chiwendu before, that's when all of this dawned on me. Chiwendu from like 3 years ago or even last year would be like, I'll start like evaluating myself or trying to morph myself into the girl he was speaking about or the kind of girl he wants. But I think it was the Holy Spirit that just helped me, or, by sheer providence. The words said clearly, Chiwendu, do you even like this guy? Does he look like what you would date? Does he have the character to date you? Do you think he's deserving of your time? Call it arrogance. Call it an exaggerated importance of one's own self. Whatever you want to call it. Best believe that it is important for you to have that sword. It's important. If you stare me down, I will stare you down too. Because it's only you that can evaluate. I can evaluate too. It's only you that can rage bait. I can rage bait too, baby. It's only you that can oppose. I can oppose too. It's like we go around our lives begging to be accepted, begging to be liked or be deserving of people's love. At some point, you have to flip the script. It has to be, is this person deserving of my time? My time is too precious. Can I, shadow them into it? Have they, when I used to listen to someone like Uti Nwachukwu was who came to my mind. I think I was listening to a podcast where he said, before you become his friend, you need to earn that friendship. I was just like, please, brother. It's not that serious, but more. It be like say it's that serious, so it's that serious. So, yeah, I'm learning a lot of things. I'm putting myself out there to be hurt. I'm sacrificing myself to the altar of people. I always used to say back in uni that I don't like people. And what I really meant by that was that I don't like the judgment of people. I like people. I love having conversations with people. What I didn't like was what they thought about me. So right now, I'm intentionally putting myself out there for people to judge me, for people to say what is it that they want to say, for people to dislike me. And it's a lot. But I know I can balance it. I can balance it. Sharing what I know. Consuming podcasts. Sharing the fact that I don't know a lot of things. Like the more you consume content, the more you read books, the more you have conversations, you'll realize that, oh boy, this world is too vast to completely learn. Do you know, like there is something that is happening right now that you will get to know in the next 10 years. And it's happening right now. But it's in the next 10 years that you will know about it. It's crazy. And when you get to know about it, it's like, but I was alive then. Of course you were. You can't know everything in the world. And I think that's what is teaching me grace for myself, to take it easy. I know there are a lot of books I need to read, a lot of YouTube videos to watch, a lot of articles to read, a lot of research to do, a lot of documentaries to make. But slowly, baby, surely, I'm kind of like giving myself 5 years to amass knowledge in some things. 5 years is, I know it's too much, or it might not be, but I'm sacrificing my time to knowledge. I want to gain as much knowledge as I can. And I want to also put myself out there as I'm getting the knowledge. I want people to look at me and be like, oh, you don't know anything. Yeah, I don't know anything. Please teach me. I'm not rambling. Okay, I'm not rambling, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I think the first thing I'm trying to say is whatever it is you're doing, and you're trying to amass knowledge, make impact in the world, or contribute usefully to your society, but it's feeling overwhelming. I want you to know that you can rest, and slowly but surely, right? That's one thing I want you to know. And number two, your contribution to the society is useful, and a lot of people will think it's useless. A lot of people will stare down at it. A lot of people will not like it. A lot of people will have opinions on it. A lot of people might not engage with it. But that shouldn't be your feel. That shouldn't kind of like reduce your energy on the work you're doing. If they're not engaging with it, that is their business. Your only role is to constantly refine your contribution. Be more knowledgeable about your contribution. Be more passionate about your contribution. To see the purpose in your contribution. That is your only role. That is your only role. How the other person takes it is left to them. Am I seeking conflict more now in my life? Maybe. I am tired of bottling up things. I'm tired of being resentful or talking to Jesus about things that people do to me. I want to say it in your face. And let's push back on each other. That's a skill I want to learn, because I will need it in the coming years. I will surely need it. It's a dance. I'm willing to dance no matter the music. Okay? I'm rooting for you. Bye.